Good day, YouTube. Jay, this is Shine Obsession here. In the lab today for a new car prep is this 2018 Honda Accord Hybrid. This car is only getting the exterior detail today. We're going to polish the paint. Then I'm going to walk you guys through application of a ceramic coating. The coating of choice today is going to be G-Technic's Crystal Serum Light, and we'll be topping that with G-Technic+EXO. I'm going to go through the steps of doing that and show you guys how easy it is to apply. Now you may be wondering, this is a brand new car, why is somebody getting a detail? I am going to be doing one of my favorite ceramic coatings on this car, G-Technic Crystal Serum Light, and I'm going to top that with EXO. It's one of my favorite coatings, lasts a long time, it's very easy to apply. I'll go over some of those steps as I get to it. But just because you get a new car doesn't always mean that paint is perfect. This car is in really good shape. I'd say 90% of the paint is ready to go. I'm still going to polish the car. There are a couple things that I'm going to note, and I'll show you here with my trusty Sunmatch light. There are some minor defects. Like I said, 90% of the car is good to go. I'm still going to polish the entire car. As clear coat is almost like, think of the clear coat as the pores of your skin. Kind of porous, so it gathers dirt, you get things in it. It has to be clean just like your skin needs to be clean. So, having said that, I've already decontaminated the car. I went with a chemical decontamination with an iron remover. I clayed the car, so the paint is ready to be polished. It needs to be polished because there are some defects. Polishing not only gets rid of some defects, but it also cleans the paint to a degree. Using an iron remover and a clay will not get everything out of the paint. You still want to polish it even though it's new, because it gets the clear coat really clean and gets that surface really smooth and prepped for a coating. And some of the defects I'm going to show you. See if I can catch this one on camera. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little blemish there. Hopefully it's picking up on camera that I'm going to need to polish out. But if you notice, the rest of the paint pretty good. There's a couple areas. There's two defects that I'm going to note to the owner, and that's another thing too. You always want to inspect any car you get brand new, 20 years old, no matter what it is, to see what it is. There may be something that your owner may be concerned with, especially this being a new car. There's something the owner may want to take back to the dealer to say, hey, I didn't notice this when I bought it. You need to fix it, or give me some money back on my purchase. So there's a little blemish there. That'll easily come out with some polish. There's another little blemish here that's showing up on camera. Not sure what that is, but it doesn't come out. Even when I clayed it, it didn't come out, but I'm sure polishing will get it out. I'll bring you over here for the top of the glass. These are actually paint defects. See if I can, they're not showing up on my screen, but it could be a bit of solvent pop here, here, here. Not sure if the owner's going to want to take this back to say, hey, fix this. And there is another section here. This one is a little more concerning. It may or may not show up on camera. If you can follow a little line of nibs here, it looks like what happened is maybe there was a scuff and they repainted. But it's a section right in here where there might have been a little repaint, and then they buffed it out. But you can see some little scratch marks here from where they sanded. It might have been a scratch, or they either sanded and buffed it out and didn't buff out very well. Yeah, it's a circle. It spans right in here to about here. I'm gonna try to clean it up as best I can. But I'm going to take I'm going to show the owner of this video. If he wants to take this up with the dealership, he can. I'm just going to show it to him. That's another reason why you inspect the car. To be sure there's nothing that the owner needs to be concerned with, and to protect yourself as a detailer, mechanic, whatever profession you're in. If you're working with somebody else's vehicle, protect yourself first, and go over it so you can protect the owner. He doesn't want to find this, 6 months down the road, a year down the road, and be like, and then him get a rust spot or something from a defect go back to the dealership and they're like, well, you've had the car for 6 months, there's nothing we can do for you. As we've coated most of the 2019 Accord Hybrid, I saved the hood for last. I want to give you guys a quick shot of how to apply crystal serum light. It's really easy. I know some people get intimidated by coatings because you hear, oh, if you don't wipe it off good and you leave it there, it will have to be polished off or sanded off, and in a lot of cases that is true. However, if you work slowly, work meticulously, you can get it done. Not that this is very hard at all, but I'm going to get started, let you see how we do it. So I'm using an applicator block. Some people use the large foam, large microfiber blocks. It goes faster, some say, but these are what I'm used to. So this is what I'm going to use. As you can see, got a little nice line of product here. What I like to do is work in sections, depending on the temperature, time of year. You know, like I said, there's a bit of a learning curve when you're using it on how much you can apply at a time before you see the product start to set up on you, and I'll show you what that looks like. What I first like to do, since I just applied this product, when I first start to apply it and wipe, it's going to puddle. There's going to be quite a bit where I first tap the block onto the car. So what I want to do is use that area to work with and spread it from there. So what I'll do is apply it there. There'll be quite a bit of product, and then work from side to side across that first stripe. Because again, a majority of the product is going to be in that first section where you touch the paint. So again, you make what some people call a puddle line, and then spread the product from there. You see it goes on pretty easy, nice and smooth. Work in a controlled area, a decent sized section. And just to be sure you get even coverage. Some coatings say you should apply so many coats. You'll get thicker layers. I don't find that to be the case with Crystal Serum Light. They advertise this as a one coat, one application, and you're good. Apply evenly, you should be set. Other coatings that say you can do multiple layers, the most I would do is 2. You do 1 coat and then you do the second coat. And the second coat for me is just to make sure I have even coverage. Now I've applied the coating. As you can see, we're waiting. I'm not stressed. I'm not worried about it hardening to where I can't get it off. It sets up for a few minutes, and you'll see as you apply it, there's lines. There's little lines where I spread the product. If you take a look carefully, I'm trying to see if the camera can pick it up or not. Maybe I'll move the end a little bit closer. Maybe you can see it. What happens is the little lines where the product was applied start to spread out a little bit. And then you might start to see these little, looks like it's bubbling a bit. Once it starts to do that, it's about time to wipe off. If you read the instructions. Just to be sure. And I use a multiple towel technique to remove the product. And I say remove the product, but I'm not necessarily removing it. What I'm basically doing is lightly spreading it out. So my initial wipe, gently spread the product out. And I'll go just past where I applied it just to make sure. Second towel, and I'm getting old, so what I like to do is use 2 different color towels. Go even further out, a little further out than where I initially applied. Again, not doing any heavy wiping. This requires virtually 0 elbow grease to remove. And then I'll flip to my plush side real quick and do one last final wipe. And done. All right, folks, here we are back again. We have applied Crystal Serum Light to the entire vehicle. It's been about a little over 3 hours. I've done just about the entire car with EXO. I'm going to show you how simple it is to apply EXO. Now what EXO is it's a topper. A lot of coatings now have their own toppers. Carpro has Gliss. Some of the other popular coatings have toppers. The purpose of the topper is add, in most cases, to add a little bit more hydrophobic properties. It'll shed water a lot easier, add a bit more gloss. And in the case of Crystal Serum Light and EXO, you could install either as a standalone. Crystal Serum Light on its own is awesome. Great gloss, great cleaning ability. EXO gives it just a little bit of boost. It's like the icing on the cake, and the gloss is outstanding. I could also do EXO on its own, but similar to Crystal Serum Light, you're gonna get it on your applicator, a few drops. You're gonna, like I said before, the point at which you touch the panel with the product, you're going to have a lot more product in that area. So I use that as my reference point, or as they call it, a puddle line. So I'll have a puddle line here, and I'll spread from there to either side of that puddle line. Just helps you get that product on evenly. Now it may be hard to see. Hopefully it's picking up on camera. But we're going to go apply it in a crosshatch pattern just to be sure you have it on there evenly. Work in a area that's manageable given the product and the conditions that you're in. Now I'm going on top of Crystal Serum Light, so you'll notice that the panel is a lot slicker because of the Crystal Serum Light. And the EXO will react slightly different because you're going over top of another coating. But it's going to do almost the same thing. Got a couple of seconds, or a few minutes rather, to let the product set. Take your time, get your towel straight. Have a sip of Corona, whatever you choose, the beer of your choice. And the product is going to do the same thing. You'll see it. The lines where I spread the product out, they'll start to begin to separate slightly. It's a little different than CSL. But similar. Like I said, you let it set. Those lines will start to spread out a little bit. You'll get some odd little reactions in the product, and then you know it's time to wipe. And again, I want you to think of it as removing the product as much as spreading the leftover product around the panel. You'll see it. Your towel will glide across the panel a lot smoother now that the Crystal Serum Light is underneath. It'll be super smooth, and you'll notice where you still have product left and where you don't. Starting to get those spread lines, so now I'm going to go ahead and wipe. Now notice, again, zero effort. Like I said, don't wipe it like you're trying to take it off. Wipe it like you're just trying to spread it out. And you want to wipe past the areas you'll apply. Very simple, very easy. You can follow it up. Again, you're going past the areas where you just previously wiped, just to be sure you're getting all the product. That's it.